God, it's so annoying. All right. Here's a Vice special report on Andrew Tate, which apparently has... The following is an excerpt from an interview with Sally. Her name is withheld in order to protect her identity. This is going to be coming out later on Vice. Okay, this is a Vice investigative report on Andrew Tate.
Sally was approached by Andrew when she was 20. Due to fears of harassment from his fan base, she's withholding her real name.
First night that I worked for him, Andrew bought me like 5 bottles of wine. So I got completely drunk because I'd never done webcam work. So I was very, very nervous. Then that night, we were just sitting on the bed and Andrew punched me in my arm. I went to the bathroom and cried. It really, really hurt to have someone just hit me in the arm for no reason. I was very confused. Sorry. Sorry, I don't want to cry.
It's okay.
So then when I came out of the bathroom, he was super, super nice. Like, from what I remember, Andrew didn't have any alcohol at all. It was literally just me. That night we cuddled and we ended up having sex and I was really, really drunk. That was my first night. Then it was kind of like every single night I would work. But as soon as he handed me my money, I soon forgot about him hitting me and everything else. And it was just like, wow, I've got all this money now. Like,
dude, I can't tell if like True Delusion is like an Andrew Tate fan or something, or if he's just truly delusional and basically chirps in the chat specifically so that like I recognize him as like a weirdo in the chat. Every time we talk about anything, he has to be like, I have a third worldist perspective, which is why I think Andrew Tate's like sex trafficking ring might be not all, not the way that the way that Vice is presenting it, because Vice is like bad. Yeah, Vice is bad, bro. Like, that doesn't change the reality, especially as like, here, I'll say this much. Okay, Vice is bad. Vice cuts a lot of propaganda that's like inherently right-wing, inherently, you know, pro-American State Department. Okay? This video, in and of itself, does not immediately raise alarm bells for me in particular. Not because I'm like motivated to, you know, out Andrew Tate or whatever. Not because I'm such a woke soy lord who's always like believe women no matter what or anything like that. It's because Andrew Tate himself has routinely talked about how he treated the people that worked, that he sex trafficked, in the ways that they're describing. Okay? That's why. Like, don't listen to the victims. Listen to Andrew Tate. He has said it openly.
He would just pay me a flat fee of £15 an hour, which back then was fantastic. I was making £5 an hour at my 9-to-5 job. But when you look at the money that I was actually bringing in, it just doesn't even scratch the surface.
Yeah, he would withhold their earnings. Is that a surprise to you? No, because he has admitted that. Someone should do a fucking supercut of everything she's saying versus everything Andrew Tate has also said.
Instances where there was physical abuse?
Yeah, so when we moved into the bigger apartment, that's when more girls started coming into the apartment to work for Andrew. And that's when I just witnessed so much, like, verbal, physical, not just to me, but the other women involved. And it just got worse over time. Andrew would call us lazy hoes. I saw him smack girls with a belt because she wanted a lion. He used to strangle us as well.
Bro, how are you a 4-month subscriber? Look, we got to address something, dude. Okay? Look, listen to me. Listen to me. You're a 4-month subscriber. You literally said lost all respect for Aiden when he started to fuck with Tate, and him defending him should get him canceled. How the fuck do you go from that to this feels fake as fuck when, once again, you look at a fucking video like this and every single thing that this woman is saying unironically, one-to-one corresponds to things that Andrew Tate has said and has defended. This is important to understand. This is a moment for self-reflection. This is a moment to examine the underlying inherent misogynistic takes that you might have. You see a woman crying, you see Vice, and you're like, oh, fuck this. They're just trying to come after Andrew Tate probably. How the fuck do you arrive at that? Okay, for a guy like Andrew Tate. For any other guy, maybe you have a little bit more of this take. It's still kind of misogynistic to immediately look at a crying woman and think like she's lying, okay, without like getting a better assessment of all the facts involved. But the idea that like you would do this for Andrew Tate when Andrew Tate himself has openly bragged about doing all of these things is crazy. You lean towards anything that's negative and favors your opinion. You truly are passionate about outing Andrew Tate. He has never said he punched his employee in the arm for no reason. Okay. I like that he snuck in employee that way, by the way. But there are not only footage, there's not only footage of Andrew Tate beating women, okay, like openly beating women, okay? There are plenty of, which I can't even show you because it's TOS. There are also instances of Andrew Tate talking about beating women who are out of place, who are out of pocket, okay? Here, this is a fanboy.
It's bang out the machete, boom in her face, you grip her up by the neck. What's up, bitch? Girl.
There's also footage. There's also footage of Andrew Tate beating women, which I originally said could be a kink thing. Okay, specifically, BDSM is, can be done consensually, and a lot of people don't understand it and think like that's fucked up. It's not for me, but ultimately there are instances, there are accounts of women saying that it wasn't consensual. So that takes that consideration and throws it out the window. Okay. It's weird to me that you would say that you would immediately rush to be like, oh, that's not true. Like Andrew Tate doesn't beat women when he himself has said time and time again that he has beaten women.
I'm like 100 and something kilo. Women aren't as big as me. You're like a 55 kilo female. I will pick you up with one hand by your titty, body slam your ass. And when I'm standing on top of you and you're like, and I'm grabbing you by your neck, and you've learned, I learned in self-defense, when he grabs me by my neck, what I do is I get my fingers in. Yeah, but you know what they didn't teach you in self-defense? Here's a little move. When I grab you by your neck and you start annoying me, trying to resist, and I just, and then I grab you by your neck again. Then what the fuck are you gonna do when your face is collapsed? I'm like a
like, how the fuck defended chatter? I know what he's going to say. He's going to say, well, he's talking about self-defense style situation. No, he's going to say in a self-defense style situation. He didn't say he would beat his own. Wait, oh, hold on. This was a good video here. I mean, this is like basically my compilations of him talking about his business strategies numerous times. This lawyer basically,
because at the beginning she will need you, but then she
control with emotions and physical control.
And this is extremely important, because at the beginning she will need you, but then she won't need you. But you have to keep that fallacy, keep that dream alive.
Fallacy, that's his word. His word. Not taking this out of context. So she'll need you at first, but then she won't. But you have to keep her convinced that she does need you. That's how you control. That's the control part. And it is a fallacy. And what is fallacy? Fraud.
She can't do this without you, to ensure that she doesn't do it without you. So this is what screen share is all about. Effectively, this is the way the business works. The girl sits on the camera. Now, when the girl is on camera, and you would have seen from my promotional video, that was at the height of my webcam empire. The blonde in that video I'm still with now. You'll see from there how we explain that there's people typing or pretending to be the girl 24 hours a day. So it hasn't got to be 24.
That part, I suppose, is fine in terms of a business model. But it's fraud. I mean, he's the one typing, and so you think you're getting all excited by something she's saying, and here you're really communicating with Andrew Tate.
But that method is very important for two reasons. First, let me explain how it works. Listen up, motherfuckers. So the girl's on the webcam. She's sitting here. When a girl is on camera, she has a public room, which people will visit, and they will spend money in and talk shit.
And when you think about it, the people that he's appealing to on these webcams are just a bunch of really lonely guys, and there's a ton of them out there.
It is your job to train the girl to talk to and interact with that public room as much as possible. So when people come in the room and say, oh, hey, how are you? She's like, they type. The men type, hey, how are you? It comes in the box. She goes, oh, hey, I'm fine, thank you. And she has to make sure her public room is engaging and interesting as much as possible to keep people in the room. Now, while the public...
So there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with what he's actually doing. It's the nature of how he's getting the girls there and keeping them there.
Yeah.
She can also receive private messages. And all those private...
Anyway, he's basically describing the OnlyFans management business, but the problem is OnlyFans management business, when done consensually, is still unethical in the sense that it's like inherently very exploitative. And I think OnlyFans managers do like take too large of a cut with not really a lot of like true management that they bring to the table, with the exception of like a AI chat farm or like an Indonesian chat farm basically that they bring. And they manage the messages that like OnlyFans girls get throughout the entire year. But as far as like the methods of how he finds the girls and keeps them there, that is incredibly illegal. Part of that is, according to the investigation and according to Andrew Tate himself, physical coercion. Okay? Physical intimidation, threats of violence, on top of loving or portraying, on top of like, the classic fucking TikTok abuse term of love bombing, like being manipulative, emotionally manipulative, getting people to like fall in love with you, and then brutally abusing them after you have successfully isolated them. That's just how he fucking does his shit. And he openly states it too. Like, he openly has talked about it so many fucking times. It's like very weird that people still try to defend it. 2 women have told Vice World News they were violently abused, one raped, the other repeatedly strangled by Andrew Tate, and that the UK police and the Crown Prosecution Service mishandled their case. Shocking. Shocking. Shocking to me that happened. That's crazy. That's crazy that the UK police... It's shocking that Andrew Tate did that after he said he did it. And it's also incredibly shocking that, like, police forces were not able to conduct a proper investigation. Like, so surprised. Like, the top of the hour ad break coming in 6 minutes later, okay? Normally, it comes at exactly 3. Sometimes it comes at 3:06. And it should not shock you that you can avoid the ad break at the top of the hour by subscribing. I don't know how to do a better segue. This is a heavy conversation. I'm not very good at doing segues during heavy conversations. You already know that. I don't want to fucking hear it. You no longer want to see those ads. All you need to do is subscribe, which you can do for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime if you want an uninterrupted ad-free broadcasting experience. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is by getting gifted a sub if you're lucky. You can get gifted a sub. BC Bray, thank you for the 5 get the subs. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. King, thank you for the 5 get the subs as well.
There was another time when he came into the bedroom me and the other girl, we would sleep in the same bed with Andrew, but at this time the girl had a partner, so she was not interested in Andrew at all. And I had gone to the shower, I came back and I noticed he was, like, I saw him raping her. And when he threatened to beat me up in the bathroom, and he said, "Oh, I don't give a fuck if you call the police, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you." That's kind of when I knew, you know, I had to get out of there. I stopped working for Andrew about March, April time, and I went to the police shortly after that. Nothing was done, really. They didn't take me in for questioning, they didn't interview me. The other girl that he had raped, she went to the police, and then that's when they arrested him and took him into custody for like 2 days. When Andrew was arrested, we were taken in for a proper interview, and it kind of just got left. I would send emails asking them to update, I'd hear nothing back.
When we reached out to...
I just want to point something out, by the way. If you guys are thinking like, oh man, that's crazy, cops never do that. Scathing report condemns police in England and Wales for victim blaming in rape cases. Examination exposes failure to track repeat suspects and botched investigations by struggling forces. A damning official examination. No one like made this up. It wasn't like the woke lords that fucking, decided like cops are bad, or it wasn't like a bunch of ACAB motherfuckers. You know what I mean? It was an official examination that looked into how police forces tackle rape, and it exposed persistent failings in the criminal justice system, including a failure to track repeat suspects, explicit victim blaming, and botched investigations. Oh man. Into the first year of Operation Soteria Bluestone, launched by the government after a catastrophic fall in rape prosecutions, also paints a picture of an overworked, traumatized, and inexperienced police force in England and Wales, which are struggling to cope with an increase in rape reports after years of austerity.
To Hertfordshire Police about this, they had this to say. We acknowledge that there were some delays to the investigation. This was addressed at the time and apologies were made. The case was only closed in late 2019 after a case file had been sent to the Crown Prosecution Service and they took the decision not to prosecute. All those involved in the investigation were further updated at the time. The Crown Prosecution Service said, in this case we carefully reviewed all the evidence provided by the police regarding each complainant and concluded it did not meet our legal test and there was no realistic prospect of a conviction. We sent a letter to each complainant explaining our decision not to charge.
When he went into Big Brother, that's when they started to take things seriously. He's on TV, we need to get him out. They told me, oh, the producers don't want to release him because he's proving to be entertaining. He was removed because of this ongoing police case. And it kind of just got left at like 2016.
Truth of that, you decide.
We reached out to Banijay UK, the company behind Big Brother, and they said, as soon as we were made aware by Hertfordshire Police on the 8th of June 2016 that Andrew Tate was being investigated by the police, we began a process of extensive consultation with Channel 5 and legal teams, including the lawyers representing Andrew Tate. During this period, and whilst we sought to clarify the details required by Channel 5 on the police investigation, Andrew was closely monitored at all times. He was removed from the house on the 13th of June.
And since then, has anything come of it?
Unfortunately, they turned around and just said, oh, we can't continue this case anymore. It's just insufficient evidence. We're not going to take it to court.
You witnessed the rape occurring. Did that not count as evidence for them?
No. They openly said it's really, really difficult to prove rape. Very difficult.
In the UK, only 1 in 100 reported rapes result in a charge, let alone a conviction.
I think people have this perception that if you tell someone that you've been raped, that person instantly goes to prison. They don't realise that it's so hard to convict someone of rape.
In a statement issued via his lawyer in Romania, Tate denied assault or rape. He said, "They wanted money because I fired them. The police understood after the investigation that I am innocent and the police found messages from the girls' phones where they were talking between themselves and planning to lie about me." Sally said, the CPS sent a letter saying that one of the reasons they didn't charge Tate was because they found voice notes on our phones where we talked about whether we should tell the police that he gave us alcohol. We were talking about it because that is what happened. He used to get us drunk.
You know, you see all these young men talking about how he's such a great guy and he's their idol and stuff, and that's so difficult to see. there are better role models out there. Don't be fooled by all the money and the nice cars and all the women. Working on yourself and becoming a better man and better mindset, yeah, but real men don't lay their hands on women.
Yep. At this stage, I don't think any amount of evidence is going to convince Andrew Tate fanboys that Andrew Tate is in the wrong here, because like part of believing and loving Andrew Tate means that you like the misogynistic things he's saying, and part of that underlying misogyny is the not so subtle implication, the very overt rhetoric that like rape culture is a falsehood and that like women deserve it and you can beat them. So, of course, when you make yourself the face, the international living, breathing face of misogyny, the fanboys that you cultivate that also agree with that are not going to fucking believe you. Are not going to believe the victims, because loving Andrew Tate is all about not believing the victims and thinking that women are liars and whatnot. So that's how it is.